I'm a culture boy.
Innocence.
Internet bullcrap.
That Cobra made.
What happens when your mom does crack when she's pregnant?
His dog didn't even want me.
Disabled person. This is my house. I let them out of the cage and they got
It doesn't make me a bad person, does it?
like boss, bitch. No harm being done. You didn't know.
Oopsies.
This person I bet had Swift was 13. It's a good thing my grandma never knew about my dad. And I can be a church girl.
Anna grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Her family has had some difficulties and some complications throughout time. She has a sister and a father. Her mother died of cancer, and her little brother died of a brain disease when she was a little kid. She's mentally disabled, autistic, legally blind, and has some serious oral surgeries in the past.
When I was 7 years old, I was swinging on the swing, and then I was pushing the swing, and then it came back and hit me in the face, and I got a chipped tooth, and it would break off sometimes, and I had to get it fixed.
And it was very similar to how I imagine a lot of you out there were when it came to YouTube. She created what I like to dub the missing child-esque video format, where none of the videos really have any true structure to them. They're just her doing things, and it kind of feels like it belongs on the back of a milk carton.
It's just like I was trying to be all sexy and shit, and then like just posing in all these different ways.
This is my house. Right there, 121 views and 4 subscribers, and that's how many views I have.
She said some pretty outlandish things, including that she believes that she's related to David Duke from the KKK, and that just runs throughout her blood. She did it by comparing shoulder size and facial structure, and bing bang boom, she figured it out. There you go.
So then, check this out. My family has a broad shoulders, they have big old foreheads, big old brain, have a history of like, look at the nose, okay? Okay, look at this guy, okay? Look at his facial features. When I saw this, I was like, oh my freaking god.
She really loves music, especially country, and has consistently made what I will call parody songs, but I'm not certain that that's the way that she interprets them. And she's also dubbed in some interesting hip-hop West Coast beat raps.
Drinking that vodka, smoking that weed, yeah.
She has a lot of crazy stories from when she was a child. One of which that is quite interesting is that she kind of views herself as being clairvoyant, because one time she was going on a road trip at night with her mom, and her mom wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and they pulled over to get gas or something, and she told her mom, hey mom, you should put on a seatbelt. And then a little bit further down the road, they got in a car accident, and she was safe because of the seatbelt. And therefore, Anna believes that she has secret powers that she has harnessed.
Had turned our direction, and somehow the back of it, which is the ball that you usually see that's striped, it's got the white and red striped or whatever, if you know what I'm talking about, had caught the back of our car, because as it turned, that's what you can imagine, that it caught that, and it caused us to spin.
One little quip that I just want to include at the beginning, because I don't know where else to put it, is this mention of hers that she got a Can Take a Joke award from school.
Can Take a Joke award. I'm just going to show you that I kept. That could be flamed.
Which is pretty hilarious considering the context that she's disabled, and people probably made fun of her, and she didn't understand the jokes. And just to rub it in even further, they gave her an award for that. That's my interpretation of it. She has also detailed breaking the law, which includes her driving without a license and how to avoid getting arrested, which also included lying to police officers saying that you were driving somewhere for a medical emergency.
Look at that. When they ask you what you're doing, where you're going, if you're driving kind of fast, you're driving down a country road and you have your mom in the passenger seat and you don't have your license yet, she was like having you learn or whatever how to drive, you can just play it off like, oh, my mom has an emergency, I'm taking her to the hospital. Or you could say something along the lines of, oh, I gotta meet my family member, they're in the hospital, type scenario. And if you say for what, just say something about them being in some kind of surgery or something like that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that Anna is a devout Christian or even religious necessarily, but she does go to a Lutheran church and she's made videos of service multiple different times. As we'll figure out as we progress into the depravity of this person, she mostly goes to church because a deal had to be made between her and her father because she had some very scandalous behaviors in the past and present, to be completely honest. And so she's kind of being coerced to try and reconcile these issues that she's had throughout life.
Kind of did everything backwards in life. But now I can be a church girl. It's not like I have a choice.
During this time period, though, she also chose to make these just really weird skits about being a changed woman for God. And at the same time, you'll notice that she is a very, how do you put it, horny person who is very intrigued in the opposite sex and really wants to have a meaningful relationship or just a fling. She really likes that aspect of life. And so at times she will make these skits of her recreating a relationship scenario that are just downright cringe and somewhat creepy to encounter.
I don't think you're religious though, because I've heard some things about you. You know, rumors. So I was wanting to know if you want to go out with me sometime. Yeah, we can get some coffee sometime or something like that. Yeah, you definitely got my attention. I mean, you can definitely read the Bible when we're done.
Lastly, on the church topic, she has a pretty hilarious video of her imitating being on the cross like Jesus.
What do you think about that?
I think it must have hurt.
And saying, yeah, this would really hurt. This wouldn't feel very good. Not too sure about that one, Chief. Anna has mentioned on multiple occasions her interest in being a man sometimes.
Being a guy that, oh, being a girl is way better than being a guy. But in my opinion, I was like, no, being a guy is better than being a girl. I wish I was a guy sometimes.
Which kind of makes you question, hey, you know, are we going down that pathway, you know, or are we really going to go balls to the wall? I don't necessarily think that that's an avenue that she's trailing down. Surprisingly, she thinks that men have it much better off than women do, even though her actions further on in this video will kind of extrapolate the issues that are wrong with that.
Problems that I know guys have from what they've told me, well, getting hit in the balls. The cool thing is that guys can stand up peeing. Being judged by who you sleep with, sleeping around. Guys can do that, and have people back them up, like their buddies and whatnot. And when you're a girl that do that,
But she kind of boils down being a man to getting kicked in the balls hurts, and you can just whore yourself out anywhere and not have any social stigma surrounding it. So those are the two things that she really likes or really connects with when it comes to being a man. And this all kind of culminates into this, once again, low pixel, uncomfortable video of a makeup / outfit try-on video where she shows off what her boy outfit would be if she was a boy and smiles into the camera and shaves her nose and it's just it's something, man. It's really something.
When I want to look like a boy, I dress like this. Almost as sexy as I am. There you go. That is how you do a makeup tutorial.
But I think it's important because I think in her brain, she is constantly going boy crazy all the time. That's all she can think about. And while she might have some slightly masculine features, i.e. sometimes she doesn't really shave that face all too well, I think it's all culminating into her just really wanting a boy. She just needs a boy. She needs it so bad. Like any good predator worth their weight in salt, Anna had her first claim to fame as being cringe at Minecon.
Would you like to join my dad's Minecraft server, Forgecraft? I've got business cards here if you would like to join.
Maybe we can take the card and check it out later.
Yeah. I can take the card and look at it.
Sweet.
Her server was MindForgeCraft, run jointly by her sister, and her dad.
Owners are Sir Clausen, Megistu, admins are Flurplex, Don, but his real name is Donovan1209, LB Mosier, Odysseus. That guy is a great builder.
And she went to Minecon to talk to Notch to ask him to be on her Minecraft server. So that's very epic. After this infamous moment, however, the server shortly shut down, mostly to her explanation being an influx of trolls and griefers and her family not really wanting to deal with it anymore.
Well, once it got out there and everybody started joining the server, a lot of people came on there just to mess around on the server, you know, griefing, is that what they call it, and to make fun of me, and to make fun of the whole situation. It was no longer fun for my sister and my dad, because they were the ones that were the head of MindForgeCraft, along with some of my dad's online friends.
We find out pretty quickly, however, that this was just the tip of the iceberg. She explains that she tried to meet up with a 35-year-old man who was a friend of her father's online in order to have sex at a motel.
Starfire. And I might have also played a role in why the server got shut down. I was talking to him, but he had a wife and kid. He was 35 years old, and I tried to meet up with him. I was worried that he was going to throw me under the bus afterwards and then tell my dad and get me in trouble. You know, being able to meet me at a hotel.
Contradicting this story with another about her sexting a 14-year-old, to which Starfire, her dad's friend, reported this to her dad.
The reason why Starfire and I never hooked up was because he told my dad that I was DMing Mario, who was 14 and I was 19, and we were in video chat together. That's why my dad came into my room and got really upset, and it took my internet away from me for a while, and exposed me because he got mad and jealous that I was trying to get with Mario instead of him.
Her dad shut down the server because of these incidents and warned her that he'd kick her out of her house if these actions continued. This incident was another reason she was sent back to church.
Joined my dad's Minecraft server growing up to explore my reality of that kind, okay? It went from Minecraft to Skype, from Skype to Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, adult content, Tinder, and FetLife, TikTok. See, here's the thing. My dad thinks he's got me by telling me, oh, well, if I'm going to sell your house if you don't stop sleeping around. He thinks he can get me that way, to, like, comply and, like, not sleep around. But he doesn't realize that before I did that in real life, I was doing that on the internet.
She credits the server with kickstarting her promiscuous lifestyle of random hookups and adult content.
But I also learned sexting. I had guys sending pics to me, people recognizing me, go to parties and they would say, "Hey, you're that girl." I got down like crazy for like 2 years. Also changed the way I think and the way I feel about myself. I'm literally not the same person that I was. Y'all took an innocent girl, changed her life.
And it should be noted from the very beginning, there are contradictions in this story. There will be contradictions in every story. She is an unbelievably unreliable narrator and lies constantly to benefit herself. And she's not as sneaky as you might believe she is. Or maybe, she just doesn't really understand because she has mental issues. No, I think she's full and well aware of what she is doing and is trying to manipulate people to get everybody onto her side. And it is no more evident than the relationships that she has had. After the fallout of the Minecraft server, this unsurprisingly led to an influx of short-lived sexual exploits called relationships that Anna went on.
This was my first boyfriend when I was in 6th grade, and his name was Luke. We liked each other in 6th grade.
He really liked me and wanted to do it with me, and I was still a virgin, and I'm really glad I didn't lose it to him, but because I didn't, and I kissed him on the lips I kissed him, he told everybody that I gave him herpes from giving him a kiss, so yeah.
She tells of some early love stories and how she lost her virginity in a 5-hour boning session at her friend's dad's house. Somebody out there is just straight up gumping it with Anna. Just straight going all balls to the wall. I need some detailed documentation of who all these people were.
So it went on from quite some time. It was at least 5 hours because it was from 3 and the sun was coming through the window and then all that stuff. And then my friend's dad started wondering where the hell we were, and he had to come pick us up, and he was so mad.
She's made multiple thirst trap dating scenarios, including one where she plays both the man and woman, where the woman ends up being a mannequin head that, like the Princess and the Frog, you have to kiss to reimagine into a woman or whatever. It's giving some weird family relationship vibes that are going to recur at the end of this video.
This is Emma. She has not changed yet into a human. There was only one way. I shall kiss her. Damien, please make me human. I love you too, Emma. She shall become human now.
These random hookups unfortunately led to an unplanned pregnancy, to where she had a child with a man named Harvey.
I know that every time we broke up, he would always go, "Well, I want to be with someone else." So we take a break, so he'd go be with her.
She later had a hysterectomy to avoid another accident. Anna even accused this man of being physical with her mom, leading to the fallout of their relationship.
And that, if you're willing to punch my mom, anybody's willing to touch anybody like that, you shouldn't be a parent. Point blank serious. Period.
Anna has a preference for the chocolate persuasion and bounces between loving and hating them, including an N-word filled song about being pumped and dumped by this man named Harvey.
I like black guys. There's a preference. So I don't know how I could put that into this song. No, it tastes really bad. Look.
Pumped
and dumped by.
Her most successful relationship was one where she got married to a man named Shannon.
Yeah, I see. It's recording me right now. See, it's recording. It's me and Shannon. He's my boyfriend. Love my life, and I'm his.
Yes, a man named Shannon. I was confused the first time I did this research as well. They did a bunch of just straight cringe rap TikToks, making out, and food hacks.
This is gonna be a video of me and my boyfriend making out.
She make the ass clap and then make it go clap, clap. I'm a country boy, but I love my chicken. Good old chicken. Weehaw! Howdy, y'all. Come down to Texas Roadhouse and have a big old day. Howdy. I'm just a hillbilly.
Alright, these are Big Macs, McDonald's. Try a bite. I made them in the air fryer.
One shot. Yum.
There we go. Now it's videotaping so we can make out with the camera.
Most notably, they like to have three-ways with other strangers. And for your fortunate eyes, you don't have to see all the exploits that Anna has done and recorded and posted online that I unfortunately have had to see with my own two eyes. They're no longer together, and he's with some other spurg, but she still misses him regardless of the cringe posts she'll put up of how yucky he was and how gross he was. She is still so desperate to find a long-term partner. Anna has also mentioned that she has herpes and has hidden this fact from several lovers.
You won't even eat my even though we both have the same STD. Well, I don't want to get it in the mouth. You already have it, you dipshit. He just didn't want to do it.
She wants to be with a man that also has herpes so that she can have unprotected sex with that person with no worries. And so, she really wants people to go below the belt for her. And not a lot of people are intrigued by that. Why? I have no idea. But there is some proof to back up the claim that she has knowingly spread this disease to other people without telling them because, I don't know. Like many lolcows before her, she is fascinated by doing food reviews.
It's similar to a Big Mac. To a McWhip.
A troll impersonating King Cobra JFS introduced her to the Cobraverse. Now I want you to keep track of this troll because he's going to reoccur later in the story. She would proceed to copy Cobra's food hacks, including eating 4 different sandwich concoctions in one day, and then making a response video about how she had to blow up her toilet, hopefully for Cobra's delight.
Today we're going to food hack a breakfast sandwich.
Oh, yeah. He's like real good. Yesterday, when I ate full food reviews sandwiches that Cobra made, how do I say this? I took the bounce to the Super Bowl, and it burned.
She's also done this weird dating food hacks video where she reacts to a Cobra video while eating and fascinates about the idea of being with him and how romantic that would be and how they truly belong together with each other.
What is up, fellow YouTubers? Number 3.
Dude, the way
I'll get to the dessert.
Oh man, if we could have a conversation in real life.
Based on her lightness and soon to be discussed depravity to Jessica, I wouldn't necessarily cancel anything out. However, Cobra likes to tout that he's against sickos, so some of the things that we're going to discuss further on in this video probably are going to be a turnoff for him. But hey, one relationship is nosediving into the water. Maybe a phoenix can come out of those ashes. Anna explains that she wanted to live a fun and wild lifestyle like her friends, which led to her unwanted baby, Abby.
You better do all your fun, crazy stuff in your 20s. Do it now. Because you might not ever get the opportunity again. And all my friends were doing it. So I wanted to. Only I didn't realize that I would be losing a huge part of who I was. My innocence. And I never wanted children, so that's out of the question.
She speaks as though she had to change this lifestyle to avoid poorly influencing her child. She didn't want any stranger showing up to just gump it. Just straight up gumping it nonstop.
I mean, when you have a kid and everything, you kind of can't continue with that. Having a guy just come around just to fool around with you and then, want stuff from you, and you have a kid and it's like, your kid's gonna get older and she's gonna wonder why is he only come around for a short time, wanted to leave again and be like...
The problem is that she gave up her child to her sister to take care of. She explains this as her being incapable of raising the child, and that for the betterment of the child, she had to give her up.
After I came back from my mom's, I lived with my dad. And then I didn't know I was pregnant until halfway through, and then my sister adopted the kid.
The point of the matter is she's not my kid. I'm not responsible for her. She's not my kid. I gave that right up. I basically don't have a kid.
She goes on to explain that Harvey was a lowlife with multiple other baby mamas.
I mean, I can't use my disability as an excuse, but my family knows me better than what they would ever know me. And to be honest, I don't want to get to know them. Because for one, someone with a criminal record, someone who lied to me, someone who cheated on me, someone who's a womanizer would not be a good father or a good husband anyways, because they're very irresponsible, immature, and they have problems of their own. Getting them pregnant, trying to get them to marry him, and he possibly had other baby daddies, he had other baby mamas he didn't know about, he has other children that he doesn't know about, right? I'm not special.
She also tries to explain the reasoning as to why she had the child, and her cause is that her mother couldn't have kids, so she needs her mentally disabled, irresponsible daughter to go have a child on a one-night stand with a loser degenerate. Nah, I'm not sure that one's adding up, Chief. That one's not making a lot of sense in my brain cavity.
I only did it because my mother wanted a child. She couldn't have kids of her own. She had hysterectomy. That's a whole other set of story.
In a pretty infamous video, Abby, her baby, was crying in the background while she was just talking about random nonsense the entire time, and Anna showed absolutely no interest in caressing the child or going over to check on her or making sure that she's okay, and would just openly neglect her so that somebody else would have to be forced to watch her instead.
Concussions is all I had, but they said something about brain injury or something like that. Or like something about the head or whatever. That was a little exaggerated too. Formed information on the news. But involved car accidents. Not just, bumping into someone on pulling out of the driveway or whatnot. But something where you're actually like...
Also, responding to this little video right here where they said Abby in the background was crying and I was unaffected by this. Yeah, I was unaffected by it because I didn't want the kid to begin with. Yep. In all honesty, yeah. Why should I take care of a kid that I did not want? I just wanted to I didn't want the kid. Left Abby to cry. There were times Joy would get mad at me and I would purposely just leave her there because I would just make somebody else do it.
I think it was sort of a tactic to try and convince her family to not leave her own child with her and to basically cut her own mother out of the child's life so that she can do whatever the hell she's trying to do online.
I didn't want the kid to begin with. Why do you think I just kept pushing the kid off into everybody else? I didn't want the kid. So what if I get pregnant? I can just say, oopsies, I didn't mean to, and then everyone feels bad for me, and nobody cries, and then my sister adopts the kid. Boom.
Anna explains that she never wanted the child, therefore never felt any attachment or desire to take care of her. So, she used her disabilities as a way to manipulate people into doing her bidding. And at the end of the day, if we're being completely honest, yeah, she shouldn't raise the child. And as we'll see here in a little bit, she might have actually been a threat to the child. So it's probably for the betterment of the child's life and future success potentially to be raised by her sister, and I feel bad for her sister and her father. At the same time, that child has a much better trajectory in life being raised by somebody else than being raised by Anna. It's important to note that Anna is aware of the Kiwi Farms thread about her.
Somehow, I was logged in a whole nother account and they banned me, dude. And they've got me on my old account. They took me back to that. I was responding to the allegations question and I got banned, trying to delete that post to create a new post, and I got banned.
The thread was initially made by a handful of different people documenting her and interacting with her. In fact, the man impersonating the King Cobra JFS Twitter handle also had a hand in encouraging her to do some of the most depraved things we are about to discuss. Coop is his name and has been doxxed multiple times on the thread, exposing him as a school counselor, which is abhorrent based on the actions he advocated for against children that Anna has acted upon. I will not expose his real name here for the 1% chance that this information is in fact wrong. Weens are a dangerous group of people that prey on locals' inhibitions to do wrong for their own pleasure. Openly advocating for crimes on children and animals is depraved and should be ousted from these communities documenting characters online. During one of these chat sessions, Anna explains that she had sex with a 13-year-old and then blackmailed him into silence with the idea that he could go to prison for doing the hoinky doink with her.
The youngest person I've ever had with was 13.
Ha!
What? But he was all proud. He was all proud about it, and then, like, basically, I told him he couldn't tell anybody, or he would go to jail. That's why I never got busted on Tinder.
And I'm sorry I have to interject some of these verbiages throughout the rest of this video. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to get past and not have this video get shadow banned and destroyed. Essentially, she kind of gloats about being able to have this relationship with this boy. She goes on to question the morality of the act and really only questions whether or not going forward and doing some physical act on somebody is actually the crime, or if the thought itself is the crime.
If you was attracted to, like, Spider-Man universe or attracted to teenage boys, right? You're like, does that make you a pedophile? Or does it only make you a pedophile if you actually acted on it, right? Because it's only illegal if you act upon it, right? Yeah, I think so, yeah. To be attracted to an individual or a certain type of group that you know is, like, not 18. That doesn't make me a bad person, does it?
Which is pretty moot to me because Anna did the crime and she has admitted to doing it. Now, once again, there is some threshold of potential falseness to the story. She lies about plenty of things. Could she have lied about this? Maybe. Maybe were they trying to coerce her to say something? I don't really know. She sees no issue with thinking about children as long as you don't act on it, and that there are good people in that group who are just caught in the crossfire, I guess. They're just mixed up in the wrong group.
Besides have social, like, they have special relationships with children, but they're not physically holding them. They're not causing them physical harm. Some of them do, but not all of them do that. Some of them are actually really good people. This is why I don't understand why society is so hate towards bios.
You know, when you have a buddy that was drinking at 14, he's just caught in the same group. I mean, yeah, you know, pervy Jimmy down at the boardwalk who, takes little kids into his van. Those are the two same scenarios. She says that she would never intentionally go after somebody that young.
Because technically, I was making the argument that if you were attracted to somebody that was 16 and you knew they had a backpack and all that, you could be attracted to them, but as long as you never actually physically do it, right, you wouldn't be considered a pedophile, right? Because are you a pedophile when you find a 16-year-old attractive, or are you a pedophile when you commit the act? Like, see, that's the contemplative thought, you know. But obviously, I expressed in that video the like I would never intentionally go after or go up to somebody and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna go looking for a teenage boy to have. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't like actually like go through with it or.
She makes up some counseling story justifying her actions and changes her tune to that she didn't actually know that the child was underage. However, in the first time that she ever talked about it, she explains that she did know that he was underage. So what is it?
Counseling person told me that even if you ever did have with a 13-year-old boy when you were 23 and on Tinder or 2018, those guys are just going to, you're just going to be a story that they're going to talk about and brag about and laugh about and joke about. There's no real harm being done. You didn't maliciously do it. You didn't set out messaging him knowing that he was 13. He lied and said he was 18. You didn't seek out younger individuals to have sex with.
Anna still says that she doesn't think it's bad to chat to underage people as long as it's not sexual in nature.
Younger individuals, you shouldn't have sex with them if they're under 18. You shouldn't talk to them if they say they're under 18. You shouldn't message them. If you are in a Discord room, you can talk about Fortnite, joke around, and whatever. But you gotta be careful what you talk about. But just don't talk to them in general, just be on the safe side, because as long as you don't go out maliciously on purpose seeking minors, you're not really a threat.
Yeah, that's epic. You want to talk about Fortnite all day with 12-year-olds in your Discord? No problem. Obviously, it should go without explaining. If you're an adult, you really shouldn't even get close to intermingling with those people. It's another reason why I personally do not have my own Discord. I don't want to deal with all that hubbub. Her fascination with darker men might be explained by the fact that they tend to look younger than they actually are.
Because black people always look young. That's why you can be 30 years old as a black man and get away with pretending to be 16.
So maybe she gets off to the idea that these men that she's potentially dating look much younger than they actually are. They're legal, but she's into it because maybe they look like they're 16. Maybe they look like they're 15. I don't know, it's just a hypothesis. Anna has made some pretty horrible lies and accusations about her own father. The man has struggled with losing his wife and son and has to deal with his disabled daughter slandering him online.
I did.
I will flame her out. I'm not gonna lie.
She has told a story about her next door neighbor giving her ice cream over the fence to do inappropriate things to him, and insinuates that her father has also done the same, with no evidence, obviously, to back that up.
When I got paid at 11 by Jeremy, he gave me ice cream over the fence. He had me call him Daddy, Jeremy. He had me, he forced me to do that stuff with him and all that kind of stuff too. But it's like, then it's a good thing my grandma never knew about my dad. Because it's a good thing my grandpa wouldn't believe me either. My whole family wouldn't believe me. It's a good thing, because I don't want that to happen to my dad. My dad's a nice guy.
She says her dad did things to her and forbid her from interacting within that special moment between the two. And she made him watch porn tapes of her that she made with former lovers in order to, air quote, delete them.
But with my dad, it's not really, I'm not allowed to interact like that with him. It was videos of me. My dad watched. He had to watch them to delete them.
When Anna was going through her divorce with Shannon, her dad came to help her out and gave $6,000 to help her escape from that relationship.
Would be able to love me unconditionally like my father. Would be able to put up with me like my father has. He knows me better than I know myself. And he says, Anna, you would not be happy in a marriage.
I said, when Shannon said that I pushed them off the porch, well, my dad signed the house back over to my dad, so then they'd have to sue my dad instead of me. Here's the other thing, though, too. There's loopholes around how even no matter what I get married and what I do, I can't sell the house, but he would own it. So the other thing is that
Shannon, however, has already convinced Anna that her dad bought her the house that they live in order to make up for any wrongdoings he had done in the past, and she full-heartedly believes that. Hence the reason that she thinks, oh, trying to get me out of this house, oh, maybe there's some bad things that will come from it.
Was my dad paid $6,000 for innocence in court to protect me and to save me, right? To bail me out, right? Well, in a way, I kind of saved my dad and bailed him out when I deleted all those YouTube videos of the allegations against him. Shannon tried to argue the fact that, well, maybe your dad just bought you this house because he wants to sleep with you. And I'm like, okay, so? Now I understand why you had me delete the YouTube videos.
In a call with the Weens, Anna fantasizes about his member after using the bathroom after him.
Like, his. Right? I don't know if that makes any sense. Because it's like, why is it so satisfying in knowing that, like, you know, even though, like, he used the restroom first, and then I used it after him, and I didn't even flush it beforehand. I just...
Says she wants to do him once he becomes senile, and details an experience of discreetly watching her dad jerk it.
What do you mean?
No, if my dad gets Alzheimer's, that'll be the perfect
Oh,
time.
okay. Oh,
My dad ever gets Alzheimer's, I'm gonna f the hell out of him.
Do you think he was like whispering stuff to himself?
No, but he had a really concentrated look on his face.
Like what?
He didn't
what was
even
his
see
face
me.
look like? Can you mimic his
His
face?
eyes, his eyes. No one in the right mind would marry me or have with me. That's what my dad said.
So, I don't know. Which avenue are you guys going to take? Do you believe that the sexual deviant who has had dozens of partners in her short, young lifespan and has a child with one of these degenerates is in the wrong? Or do you think her dad, who's just trying to fix his own life and fix her life for the better, is in the wrong? Let me know down below. If a Minecrafter isn't into doing kids, they're probably into animals. And if you're Anna, you're into both. She has detailed stories of attraction to animals from a young age, including drawing pictures and writing stories of animals replacing her everyday life in suggestive ways, including drawing animals in their underwear or being a bit provocative, sleeping together. And she claims that the rationale for these stories that she had written was to emulate her real life.
I basically just went off. The reason how I came up with such a horrible story was my mom was in and out of relationships a lot. So, like, I'm not blaming her. I mean, I shouldn't have been. I mean, and what I'm saying is, a lot of the stuff I've seen happen throughout my life, I basically made a story about, like, with my own characters and, like, drama and stuff that I put into it. This was Luke, what he would have looked like. Grouchy was a pit bull, a chocolate, a poodle. Yeah, Luke again. At first, she didn't have a blanket on her, and I was just drawing her in underwear. But the teacher was like, you need to draw something at least over her. And I was like, okay.
And if anyone else could probably read a lot better than that, that's good.
Anna had a dog as a child that has probably seen or experienced some major shit.
That was so mean. He just took down a different toilet. And then when he did that...
She has also admitted to feeding her hamsters to a dog before, for self-satisfaction.
Yes. I mean, I let them out of the cage and they got eaten. That's what I was told. This. I let them out of the cage on purpose. What happened after that? Well,
one of her mom's ex-boyfriends caught her watching their farm animals do it in the barn and insinuated that he was into it and asked her questions if she understood what she was looking at. Maybe it could be a preface for where she's at in today's world.
I can remember sneaking out into the barn and just so I could watch the animals. And yeah, then I found out I looked over and I saw my mom's ex-boyfriend watching me while I was doing what I was doing. And I was like...
She was on this dating show thing where she explained her fascination of animals eating each other. She also goes on to explain that she wants to hunt an animal and do it, game end it, and then wear its skin or put its head on a wall somewhere. Kind of giving off major serial killer vibes, if you ask me.
Like, you've never been excited by, like, watching the animals, like, kill each other and eat each other as an 9-year-old? Like, that's never happened to you when you watch a Discovery Channel? That would unalive deer. And then he would, you know, do it with them after he unalived them, deal. And I'm like, okay. You know, if no one else was around and no one was around to see it, and you're alone in the woods, and who cares? I mean, it's already unalived at that point. Seeing those antlers on the wall, knowing that you had that intimacy with it, as well as being able to eat its meat, and being able to harvest its skin, and being able to make a jacket out of it, like, that would be awesome. Like, to be able to wear that stuff, and have the deal on the wall, and be able to, like, to be, like, I think it would be more awesome if I could be, like, a guy and have done that, because that would be, like, freaking cool, you know?
She claims to have had an ex-boyfriend who wanted her to do his dog, and that the dog didn't even want her because he was more interested in the man of the relationship.
And he told me he didn't
that.
do it with his dog.
I don't believe that.
He did it with his dog.
No, I think you did it with the dog after this conversation.
I never did it with the dog. No, I never did it. Because the dog was scared of me and did not want to do it. He would put the dog on me and the dog would go on. It doesn't matter if your eyes is closed. Your eyes is closed. You can just think it. You can just imagine it's a man with a giant penis. The older men are better lovers. Older men are better lovers is not always true. Because the Chad guy that tried to get his dog, he was 45 and I was 23, 24. His dog didn't even want me. Then he wanted to go buy a new dog and I broke up with the guy. They wasn't even attracted to me. That's because I think the dog was gay, dude.
Now, as stated multiple times throughout this video, a lot of this can potentially be diced up to conjecture. Do we actually know what the true story is? Do we actually have evidence of any of these things potentially occurring? I would say Anna consistently doubling down on her actions when it comes related to children and when it comes related to animals is very damning. And I think that she is a threat to people and to herself online. Like many other situations, it seems that she doesn't have a group of people actually invested in helping her. And it might be because she has burned every bridge she could possibly have known in her entire existence. Why would her family be interested in helping her out? Therefore, she's probably only going to continue to spiral down into the pit of despair. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Yep. That's all, folks. But thank you good and good and good.